Welcome Gemini to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 15th of July for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. As ever, we need to be mindful of your ruler Mercury. Mercury starts this week in the fast-moving third house. That really echoes into your core talent for quick communication. But we do have that combination between Mars and Uranus in house 12. If there's something going on in your situation that you feel a sense of injustice around, the chances are that your feelings and your unhappiness can, unfortunately, be very close to the surface. But you know, if you do find yourself needing to let off steam, do not judge yourself, Gemini. Uranus going through your 12th house has been really demanding, particularly since March 2019, because the 12th house is very psychological. Being an air sign, you're very much rooted in the realm of ideas. The 12th house is much more ephemeral, and it's really been pushing Gemini people to become much more conscious of some of the parts of life that you may not necessarily want to look at. We all have shadow sides, we all have our subconscious, we all have parts of our nature that perhaps we're not quite so integrating into our overall being. And that's really what Uranus has been asking you to do. Now, if you're someone who's really dived deep into personal development and healing and trying different things, you've probably served this energy fantastically well. But whoever you are and whatever you're dealing with, if someone is in some way scheming or not being very honest or upfront or a bit secretive, and do watch your back at work, particularly the 12th house can, in traditional astrology, be secret enemies. There may be something you really do need to stay very aware of what's going on around you. But I've got some great news to tell you. Because although Mercury, your ruler, is in a difficult angle to Saturn through the first half of the week, which means that you just need to be aware that those responsibilities that come from work means that some of what people expect from you may not necessarily be in the areas that you shine. So their demands and pressures won't necessarily be communicated to you in the way that you like or appreciate. But as this week goes on, there is a fantastic link between Jupiter in your sign, which will bring blessings over the next year if you really apply yourself. I feel there is a little bit of a binary thing amongst YouTube astrologers. I don't watch a lot of other stuff, but I've watched a few things over time, and it's all how amazing Jupiter is, and it's all how awful Saturn is. And it's much, much more complex than that. Saturn can reward us. It can be punishing in the natal chart if it's on an awkward position, or if it moves over the south node, and so on. But if it moves over a key cusp in the natal chart, if we put the hard work and application in, Saturn often rewards us. But I feel that Jupiter is a planet that does require us to add some of that Saturnian grit. In other words, roll up our sleeves and really dive in. So whatever you're manifesting that's much more individual, as Jupiter forges a brilliant link to the point of destiny at the start of this week, that suggests the people you are connecting well to are going to really appreciate you. And that connection can get stronger as this week goes on, whether it's romantic, social, friendship-wise, or it is to do with a business interest. The link between Jupiter and Venus can be super fortunate for you as the week develops. But of course, we have that full moon on Sunday, a full moon which emphasizes the 2nd, the Sun, and the 8th, the moon in Capricorn, axis of your situation, the ins and outs of your finances potentially, but also maybe where you're most devoted and invested, where you feel really appreciated in terms of your commitment. But you know, Mars is going to move into your sign as this week draws to a close, and is angling back brilliantly to that full moon in Capricorn, but critically is in touch to Pluto. And that's the first time these two have connected across these two zodiac signs for over 220 years. So even if you start this week with some turbulence, even if you're having to watch your back, even if there are some people who do not have your best interest, you're going to take much greater control and a much firmer grip on your life direction, because not only does Mars move into your sign, it forges not just that incredible link to Pluto, it forges an amazing link to the Sun as it edges into the sign of Leo, which it rules on Monday the 22nd. So if things do feel overwhelming, choppy, frustrating, annoying right at the start of this week, I promise you, Gemini, by the end of this week, you're going to be staging a masterclass in fight backs and demonstrating just how brilliant and effective and energized you can be by the week's end. Have a great week, Gemini. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now.